don't. I guess seeing this match and then looking at Lance Archer, I don't know that I want to see these three guys in a match. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it's one of those things where you put three weird ingredients together and they become a masterpiece. But
That's what we call that.
A C minus. If it wasn't the main event, I probably would have gave it maybe a C plus, maybe. But God, I don't know what it was about this pay-per-view. Maybe it's because I sat down and just like focused on it with my son, and I didn't distract myself with shiny objects in between. That I just it didn't seem to hit for me, even the matches I thought would.
Yeah, no, I found myself having a lot more complaints out of this, like letting Matt Hardy restart the match, or JR saying he wished that Thunder Rosa would have had a wardrobe malfunction.
It was Amy or whatever her name is.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever. The gal with is it the gal with the Dark Order or?
Yeah, there you go.
Whatever her name is, I don't even remember her name.
Yeah,
but still, it was classless.
Yeah.
But we did come down. It came down to being 6-6 pasty, so we kind of assumed we had so many the same that it probably would come down to a tie. Tiebreaker was, would the Mimosa match end in the Mimosa? Pasty said yes. Pasty, you won this pay-per-view 7-6. Way to go, my friend.
Score one for the big guy.
Best match of the night, Pasty?
Probably the tag team championships.
Okay. And I'm giving it a final grade of C, average. It was an average pay-per-view.
It was.
I could see it being one of, WWE's B or C list pay-per-views, but this is supposed to be one of their big, I don't know if they got big four. They got Full Gear, All Out.
See, I would be inclined to give the pay-per-view overall a B minus, C plus, but because of letting Matt Hardy continue, that's like the worst business decision I've seen them pull in AEW, and they could have ended his life or career. Right. I'm going to say C minus.
Yeah, and that's a big part of my grading too. And like you said, I think the rest of the pay-per-view, A, it left a bad taste in your mouth anyways. Yeah. And B, I mean, that match only went 9 minutes, and that was with a lot of in-between shit. It was probably meant to go 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
So I think a lot of the matches down the line had to pad it.
It's a broken rules match. I expected to see some like Lake of Reincarnation stuff, or at least some kind of broken spots, and then Matt Hardy shows up on Dynamite to give his spiel about how he's gonna go home and recover and he'll be back, but he did the whole thing as Matt Hardy and it wasn't like in character or anything. And I'm thinking Broken Matt's got to be dead now. Yeah. It's not working. He's been spinning his tires in the mud. It's been too long since Impact for it to gain traction the way it had.
I think you're right. I think he needs to either come back just as Matt Hardy or reinvent himself again.
Reinvent himself is probably the best bet because there's no real value in just Matt Hardy. I'm sorry, but I'm honest.
Probably true.
That's what scares scares the shit out of me because AEW pulled out these stops to get Matt Hardy there to find out that this just isn't going to work the way they want it to, and so now what? Well,
even if they keep him as just a behind-the-scenes creative guy, I think that's valuable.
Yeah, I think that's valuable too. Rebby would probably be happier with that.
Right. You know what? She can be a bitch sometimes and be out of line. She was. I agreed with her 100%. She was allowed to rant.
Oh yeah, very very much so. I was actually looking out for it as soon as the spot happened. I was like, I can't wait to hear her go off.
And we'll actually get to her actual rant when we get into the injuries. Pasty, let's knock it up a little bit and kind of hit through some of these news.
I don't want no more kids, Fat Mac.
I'm telling you.
Now let's snap into this week's edition of the Savage Sentinel. Yes, Paige spoke out about Vinnie Mac's third-party Edict, going back to our main story of the night, telling followers, just so you guys know, this is all going to be changed. Paige said about WWE-related graphics behind her. It's going to be changed to Soraya, my real name. We are not going to get rid of our Twitch. We are here to stay. We are not going anywhere. Twitch is our house. I'm the queen of Twitch. So there's no chance in hell we are getting rid of my stream. We're here. We're here to stay. No, guys, I can keep it. It's just psoriasis. Just have to change it all over to Soraya. Thank you for understanding. I know it's going to be a bit weird to get used to Soraya, but it is what it is. I don't think anybody cares about your Twitch channel, Paige.
I don't think they do either. Although she is right. It's going to take people a while to get used to Soraya, as Pacey pointed out.
Yes.
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 Keeping on that, though, during the All Out post show, Tony Khan was asked about AEW talent making money from third-party entities such as Twitch after Vince McMahon issued this edict banning his talents. And Khan said a very diplomatic, maybe political answer. He said, "It's a very topical and good question. I don't want the wrestlers being concerned that I'm going to stop them from trying to monetize their Twitch or appearance money for that matter." Then he adds, "But there are gray areas, and I think there are different forms of media and platforms. I probably have different answers for different platforms. I think some sponsorship stuff is a gray area. If one of your big stars or wrestlers was to go and get a Pepsi sponsorship on their Twitch and not as a wrestler, then it would seem like they are trying to circumvent the company."
That money shows the greed, doesn't it?
It does. Somebody should have told Macho Man that he couldn't go out and get a Slim Jim.
Right.
You know,
where would we be without that? Holy shit.
We wouldn't have beef sticks, that's for fucking sure. We'd still be thinking of a name to this date. Yeah, so I mean, he admits that he would be a little looser than McMahon, but he also was smart enough not to paint himself in a corner, and he left it very open.
Yes.
Just basically saying they're gray areas, and I'd have different answers for different things. So, I mean, that's smart as a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
But at least, I give him credit. He didn't go out there and say, "No, we'd never do that. We'll let our guys do anything," because he's a businessman, and he knows he's not going to do that.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because if you get a Pepsi sponsorship, he wants some of that too.
He wants that Pepsi money, baby. You can't live off of.
Do you think
fucking
AEW is going to be
energy.
sponsored by Pepsi next week?
I hope they are. They ain't going to make money off Bang Energy, I'm telling you. Not going to happen.
WWE made edits to recent indie content added to the WWE Network, apparently due to allegations coming out of the hashtag Speaking Out movement on social media. The network recently added the WXW Toronto 2019 show on the indie section. That card opened with Julian Pace versus Sema versus Daniel McCabe versus Brent Banks. But the match was removed as Pace had allegations against him. The WWE Network also edited their version of the current WXW Toronto 2019 show to remove an angle with David Starr and current WWE NXT UK champion Walter. Walter doesn't have any accusations against him, though, right?
No, but David Starr does.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Correct. I'm kind of split on this. First of all, I actually watched this not too long ago, so I got to see the four-way, which is actually a really good match. And I don't know.
I'm just saying they didn't kill their families and then hang themselves, so you can still see him on the network.
Benoit's on there, Snuka's on there. I mean, everybody, Jerry Lawler, everybody's on there. So it's like, I don't know about taking them off. Now, well, I guess you can't.
You can make it harder to find them by not popping it up under the search or whatever.
The gray area here, to take a word from Tony Khan, is that they're going to get royalties, where Chris Benoit is not going to get royalties. Jimmy Snuka's not getting royalties. Lawler is getting royalties, but he never got convicted. So until they're convicted, once they're convicted, WWE doesn't have to give them royalties. There's a law out there nowadays. I think about 10 years ago it got put out that that criminals can't profit off of their crimes. So if a serial killer writes a book, he can't get any money from it. So, I mean, I guess there is that they would get royalties from this, so maybe that's the point. I mean, I'm not going out looking for these. I'm not going to order the network for these shows. But like I said, that Toronto show, that four-way, was an awesome match, so I'm glad I got to see it before they pulled it.
Yeah, hey, at least you were on the ball there.
I'm balling.
Balling!
Oh, well, Pacey, we got some good news coming up. It has been announced that Cena will co-host the upcoming Wipeout revival on TBS with Nailed It host Nicole Byer. TV Line reports that Cena and Beyer will offer comedic commentary on each episode, and model and actress Camille Kostek will be the sideline reporter. I love Wipeout.
Yeah,
Such a fun show.
Wipeout with Cena commentary. I think that'll be pretty good. Especially if he's anything like his characters in Southpaw Wrestling.
They should have kept John
Laurinaitis?
John from Wipeout.
I don't know entirely.
They were both John, actually, but I'm thinking of John Henson. John Henson. They should have kept John Henson. I love John. John Henson would have been... I love him. He's just so fun. But you talk about Southpaw. I'm just going to bring this in here for a second. They got me all excited that they were going to have more Southpaw stuff. But then I like clicked the clickbait and I opened it up and it's like, adding new Southpaw to whatever mobile game WWE runs. Oh, fuck. I thought it was more Southpaw. No, it's
Dude, it would be so hard to do Southpaw now that most of those people aren't even with WWE anymore.
I was wondering how they were going to do it because it was really kind of the Good Brothers creative. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It would, like, you could definitely tell it was their creative after watching Talkin' Shopomania. Like, it's exactly the same shit.
Too right.
I love it. No, I'm looking forward to that. I might actually start watching Wipeout with Cena as a host. That's good. In an update from last week, MLW announced beginning next week, its show is moving to Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the Fubo Sports Network. That's right, they're going head-to-head with your favorites, AEW Dynamite, and maybe NXT, unless they go to Tuesdays. Replays will also air the same night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Moving to a weeknight and in prime time was one of our goals with The Restart, said Court Bauer, MLW CEO and founder. Is that what the show is going to be called? Is that why it's capitalized?
The Restart!
The rankings reset every week. It's a mad dash to try to become the champion. You have to win so many matches each night.
They're just going to save money by taping the same show and then just Groundhog Day it every time. Just a year of the same fucking 1 hour show. It's the Restart. Gotta love it.
Court Bauer said, Fubo Sports offers us 2 great windows to catch the realest wrestling in the sport while placing us on over 75 million screens. So they're being played on the Thunderdome screens. Is that
right? I really got to question this. Why the fuck would you move to Wednesday at 7?
I don't know.
That's the worst time to move to right now.
You'd think MLW and AEW would be more buddy-buddy. That's what I would hope anyway.
Yeah, and you can't imagine that Fubo Sports was like, we'll take you, but you have to go against these 2 giants. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I really don't get it. And then you're going to offer a replay at 10 p.m.? Well, nobody's going to watch it then because they're all going to watch either NXT or they'll probably watch NXT like they're doing. Then they'll catch the 10 o'clock replay of MLW, and then they'll watch I meant AEW. They'll watch AEW, then they'll watch the replay for MLW, and then they'll watch NXT on the network or on SmackDown. Not SmackDown. What's that thing called? Hulu. That's what
there you go.
I knew it aired on something.
USA. They're also on USA, Fat Mac.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying if you're watching, you won't get to watch it live.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're a wrestling fan, that's what you do. You watch AEW Dynamite, then you watch MLW Replay at 10, and then the next day you watch Hulu for your NXT fix, and you get them all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why, honestly, isn't that why AEW is winning the ratings right now? Because everybody knows they can just watch tomorrow for NXT. It's right. A reason. It's a reason.
Yeah, I definitely think it plays a big part because, I'm never in a hurry to watch NXT. It's never the one I'm watching on Wednesday, that's for sure.
Yeah. Because you can watch it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine with watching AEW and then reading about NXT. You know what I mean? It's not a takeover, and the last takeover, I don't know if I'm going to look forward to the next one.
I know. Interesting move. I'm glad that MLW is making moves, but I don't know that this is the right move. But
It'll be funny if MLW starts pulling better ratings than NXT, though.
On Fubo Sports of all. If we can do that on Fubo Sports,